Hello and welcome back. It's ECS Season 6. It's another day in the beautiful world of Counter-Strike and indeed Santa Monica, California. My name is Henry G. We'll bring you lots of action today. This broadcast will be specifically focusing on the European division. We'll bring you North American later. And I'm bringing you the action with two lovely men as usual. It's going to be James Bardolph and DDK. Gentlemen, I assume you played Counter-Strike today?
Of course.
Not you so much. You work on a computer. You getting ready to play Counter-Strike?
I set my PC back up.
Yeah.
So now it's ready.
Back to games. You ready to go?
Yeah. It was actually on 50 FPS for a while. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I actually just rushed it and I plugged it into the wrong graphics port.
Well, you put it into the motherboard
display,
instead.
the display cable.
That's got to be
That's
the
impressive.
biggest noob error I've ever heard in my
I
life.
had to fix it in like 2 minutes, but
Okay.
yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
had 10 minutes.
Did you win?
No, morning Counter-Strike is not reliable. Premium Q is the one. I was playing Premium Q yesterday, had a great time, played 5 matches. I won 4. And yeah, my level is still all too low, but we're getting there.
You're getting
we
there.
were getting there. I've got to cancel the morning CS now.
Does the asthma get better or
Do
worse?
matchmaking instead.
Depending on the level of CS.
Depends on if I leave my pump over there or not.
Which he does every time.
Every morning, yeah.
It's perfect. Daniel, if they want to talk about James's pump and maybe the games as well, where should they get involved?
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter at ECS, hashtag ECS6 to get involved in the discussion. And of course, you can find out all the beautiful information about the league. I don't know if beautiful is a great adjective. Maybe I'll leave that
Appropriate,
to you.
yeah, it's perfect.
And you can find
Beautiful
schedules,
information
results,
about the league.
and more information as well on csgoleague.com, so go check it out.
Amazing. And we've got so much Counter-Strike over the next few weeks. We're going to do 7 days in a row from now. It's all leading to this one amazing, beautiful event, as Dan would say.
It's beautiful.
Where are we going to, James?
Well, on a beautiful website, you can find the information at arlington.csgoleague.com. Our finals will be at the esports stadium, still being built. It's going to be brand spanking new, sparkly, polishy, and maybe beautifully as well. Dan found flowers.
It is going to be a lot of fun. It is ECS. It's always the most fun broadcast, the most fun events. Make sure you're there.
It's in November, 22nd, 25th.
There you go. That's what you need to know. Tickets are available right now. Go and buy them. And also, maybe you can't go. Maybe you want to buy some skins instead. Well, the best way to do that is going to be getting loot. There's a big button beneath this broadcast right now. You can hook up your FACEIT account to the YouTubes and make sure you're eligible for the drops. They happen about every half an hour. They're in the top right of your screen. And you have to be in it to win it. Everyone's been getting points recently.
It's kind of funny. I had a guy in my chat yesterday saying, how can I get points? How am I supposed to get points to change my name on FACEIT? And then another guy said, I got 50,000 points from watching ECS yesterday.
There you go. That's what you have to be doing. We've given away over 1 million points this season.
Over 4 million.
4 million?
Or about 4 million,
well,
yeah.
I'm still correct. Over 1 million.
That's
still.
true, yeah.
So, but yes,
yeah.
over 4 million points. So
Tick
make
in
sure
the
you do it.
boxes.
Certainly worth it. And you can buy all sorts of things. Change your name on FACEIT or get some cool skins as well.
It's good that you actually found someone that had won some points, because sometimes when people win competitions, I don't necessarily believe that it's real.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Freya's won 50,000 before as well.
Before she won
that's real like
that. Yeah. Let's have a look. Like I said, we're at the European division. Let's have a look at the teams, specifically the leaderboard, as what's going on. Here you go. No surprise to anyone. Astralis right there at the very top. They've looked impeccable. Mouse Sports actually looking much better. They've just signed Sticko as well. I guess that's a conversation for another time. We don't really. We'll wait till they're playing before we get into that. Optic North FaZe. North will be playing today, and then we've got LDLC and Virtus Pro, G2 Fnatic, NIP. NIP not looking too good in any of the leagues right now. They're getting battered in Pro League. They're getting battered here. It's not really going too well for them whatsoever, is it?
Yeah, but they've got 14 games left, so they've got a vast majority of their games left. So that's good. I mean, most of the teams do. So there's lots to play in this. This table could be upside down by the end of the league.
Yeah, that's true.
Apart from Astralis.
Well, they will be playing today against Optic, but I'm actually more interested about the first game, chaps. We've got LDLC versus North.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like the most tantalizing game unless you've watched LDLC like we have. We've maybe done 4 of their games this season so far. They've had some more firepower added into the mix, and they look a lot more deadly than you may suspect. LDLC over the years have always been that like middling French team. You may find them like at a tier 3 event, they might get to the playoffs or something like that. But this is the most dangerous LDLC we've ever seen.
They might actually beat the best team maybe in France right now. Maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you'd have to based on results. I mean, Vitality played like 1 game, something, and they lost. So
Yeah, we don't know really with
top
them
one,
yet
the top one France
fit.
until proven otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's maybe
I think
correct.
That's fair.
On paper, it's correct.
So we sound like we're being facetious. We sort of are, but not really, because we've watched them a few times now. They've actually got firepower now. They've always had good team approach. They've always had decent strategies. This is the team Existence was actually in. So he managed to maybe bring their fundamentals up to a certain level, their teamwork. They're always just missing the star players there. And now they've brought in the Misfits rejects, if that works. Almanek and Devaduvek will be coming back from North America to a French team and actually look pretty decent. Are you a fan of those two particular players?
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. So maybe they were a misfit in Misfits rather than rejects. I think it's more fitting to say. But I don't think we're being facetious. I mean, on paper, you would think, like, you know, with our brains, we think Vitality almost guaranteed to be a better team. But until they actually prove that, you have to say that this team is the best team, technically speaking. So it'll be disrespect to say that they're not. But we'll see. It's kind of out of their hands if they will remain that way. But
I can't wait.
Most promising for the time being.
I can't wait to see Vitality actually actively on the scene, like on the circuit, with them making sure that they get to tournaments and stuff like that. The problem is they're obviously too late to sign up for these leagues, and they have to be invited to tournaments, and they haven't really proved themselves yet.
2019 team.
Yeah, I think so.
But they were playing one online qualifier, which is what they lost in. But enough about them. LDLC. I mean, the team has shown promise.
Yes,
for sure. They've been more competitive than we would have expected. But I think part of that, having not seen them so much in top flight CS, is kind of like a name value thing. So now it's time to prove their worth, and they've been doing well so far.
Yeah, Dan, they've been around for like 3 or 4 years now. Twanu specifically been trying to make this roster a thing. Have you ever been impressed by them in the past, or is this the first time you kind of maybe think there's a chance of them succeeding, perhaps?
I think for me, I saw players like Twanu a long time ago back. Yes. I think in the era where we had, I think it was Devil and Body B, they were picked up, and I think actually they were playing with Twanu at the time on the same team. So it was always interesting to me because I always felt like, this guy has, has some potential. He's a pretty flashy AWPer, and he's got some skill for sure. But I think one of the issues is that some of these players, I don't want to say have been robbed of experience, but I feel like because of the recycling of name value that we constantly have, and we don't necessarily have the best way to get new teams and new players up into thrust them up into the higher tiers as easily as we'd like. Players like Twanu, maybe he's been ready for a higher level for a year or so, but it's hard to break in sometimes.
I think they're quite reminiscent of Heroic in that sense. Like they seem to get like a decent little roster together, then as soon as someone gets noticed, the bigger teams just pick them up and say, well, we're going to have your good players now. And I think Twanu is the only person within that LDLC lineup that has me picked up by the top end of the scene. But let's move on to North. They recently attended the Star Series event. They had reasonable success there. They managed to get to the playoffs, taking down some big names. I think they took down NIP twice in the Swiss system. And overall, they're actually looking pretty decent with their new addition, Cadian. Now, we discussed them a lot in the past, but maybe people who have not watched us have this discussion before. Cadian coming in from Rogue. He's now the in-game leader, but he's actually bringing a lot of firepower, and his AWP is looking quite deadly right now, maybe career best.
Yeah, he is constantly improving, and you wonder where the ceiling is. Still a very young lad, which is awesome for him as well. It's been an interesting journey in the short term for North with him on the team. You've got MSL on the shadows tweeting, well, it's pretty much the same strats as we were running before.
Did he say that? I didn't see
he was like, I think he said something along the lines of like 80% is stuff that I was doing anyway, So
not bitter though.
Not, of course not. So that's interesting. But I wonder how long. I mean, we've seen Mystico go back. He was never released from Mousesports. He was just sitting in the shadows himself. So that's an interesting scenario. But I think a fresh pair of eyes is, something you manage on a football team. It's just, it's rejuvenating for everyone. And again, so far so good. You wonder how far they can go in this league.
Would you be upset if you're MSL, Dan, considering you just won a big tournament for them this year? You got MVP of the tournament. He was the AWPer, and then a couple of weeks later, he was removed. Would you feel upset as well, or do you feel like that was an anomaly of an event, and obviously the team will be greater from this particular pickup? What do you think? I
think it's always a hard pill to swallow because you always feel as though if you have more time, you can remedy whatever might be wrong. And also, as you say, just having had a good result gives you more of an argument to say, well, with more time, but sometimes there is no more time, and I think that's what the team ended up deciding. So I think, and of course, MSL, his character on Twitter and so on, he just generally does seem to be in a state of being upset. I think that's what people pick up on a lot, and it's great to see sometimes, but I would imagine it's lost him some fans as well here or there. Also, just the nature of some of the complaints.
Yeah, the thing is, I think with North, it's not necessarily that he, as an individual, is a problem for the team.
Yeah.
But I think that they've had such a long run where the big runs in those within the overall run is an anomaly in itself, and it's just that a change in approach and a fresh pair of eyes may be a difference. So rather than like it being you are the problem, it's just like the same old is the problem.
Yeah.
And we need something new, even if it's similar but has slight differences. That might be enough to.
Yeah, I just found it surprising after the best result they've had in like 2 years. 2 weeks later, you kick the in-game.
They're never consistent though.
No, that's very
the thing.
true.
It's kind of like holding on. Yeah, it is a bit timing, but I think it's also like if you look at Virtus Pro, for the longest time they were holding on for being legends in the major, and everything else was like doesn't matter how much everything else is rotten. We've got this one good branch that breaks off, and then
I'm curious how much Ave, what Ave does with the team. Obviously, being a coach, like how much power does he have? How much say on this, that, or the other does he have?
I think, well, he's a 1.6 legend. Like, he obviously understands the game and stuff like that, and he probably does lots of research. I don't know his specific involvement. I'm sure he does help out with the analyzing the demos and stuff like that. I can't imagine he's as hands-on as all the other coaches. I actually have no idea, but as someone who has not played CSGO at a high level, you'd assume maybe he doesn't chime in as much, but I could be completely wrong there. Obviously, he has a great understanding of Counter-Strike, but I think he's more there as the Counter-Strike brain and this understanding how a team operates and what they should be doing and how they should communicate specifically, I think will be the main thing for a lot of the younger Danish guys. You think about it, you got lots of experienced players in there, but also lots of young players. You think of the likes of Kiabi, right, for example, like he's done everything he can in CSGO pretty much, but also 21 years old. There's a lot of these players that maybe need help kind of concentrating and making sure their mental state is correct at all times. I feel like Ave brings a lot of discipline in there, and hopefully we'll see them get better and better. So I'm actually a big fan of this team. I think they have a good recipe overall. I think I've always enjoyed what North do in terms of their good loose calls, and then they've got solid fundamentals in terms of defaults and executions as well. I think they've always been a fascinating team to follow. But moving on, the LDLC versus North will kick off Nuke first. That's actually the LDLC's pick. It's a map. I don't know why I know this, but they've always been very good on. Every time I've cast them, it seems to be Nuke is their pick. They're very fast on the T side. They actually innovated all of the fastest smokes you can do from T-spawn at the very beginning of the rounds. So that was quite cool to watch back in the day. I feel like they could have a good game here. I feel like North, it's not a map I've seen them play a ton recently, I'll be honest. Obviously, with Cadian coming in, I think they will just be recycling the same old strats. But we've seen Nuke recently, and it seems to be very CT-sided right now, especially in these online games. Do we feel like that's going to be the main factor for these kind of two teams going at it? I feel like North are the favorites going in, but LDLC on this map. Where do you guys sit right now?
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's a journey of discovery of LDLC. So we've seen some strong performances, but I'm looking forward to seeing how well they do. It'll be a surprise for me. Yeah,
I think that's we have no expectations for them so far. We've seen that, you actually look pretty decent. It's the best looking LDLC we've ever seen, but we need to see a bit more. The sample size is still quite small. I think we've casted them on 4 maps so far. I believe they have maybe 1 victory, maybe 2. They just look pretty decent overall. That was what the exciting thing was for me in general. So, okay, we're gonna look at a knife round.
Ooh, let's do it.
Excited for that?
Yeah.
I actually think this will be a close game. I'm going to sort of say 16-12 for North, but I think it will be quite competitive. And sometimes the scoreline it doesn't really tell you anything at all. I think in that sense, I'll just say that I think it'll be a very competitive game. I think we are going to see a good level from LDLC individually, and tactically, I'm looking forward to that T side and happy that you highlighted it. And one quick extra point about Ave actually. I was talking to Thread about this and at the major, and he said that Ave was, I think, his top pick to replace him for NIP when he was on the way out. But of course, North sort of swooped him up before that would have been possible.
McMeekin.
Yes.
Well, here we go. We're off. 2 smokes. The Molotov's out as well. No graded pistols on T side. There is a CZ. We're seeing that so often these days on the upper bomb side. Sitting on the hut with the CZ. That's going to be Gage. There's a little cheeky HE in there as well. This is designed to stop the rushes at the very beginning of the round. But this looks like a very tactical execution now. I'd imagine this smoke is going towards heaven. And the Molotov on top of the huts. Maybe smoke towards main entrance as well. Or save another smoke for post-plant if they get that far. Twanu just shooting out the skylights right now. Going to be lining up the smoke for heaven. There we go. And then towards main entrance. Molotov's in as well. Kiabi gets one through the smoke. And the CZ is paying dividends. There we go. Looks like the round's already complete. Remember, North have got bucket loads of talent in this squad, and they're looking pretty sharp there.
They get 3 helmets for $350 each.
Yep.
That is a big difference, especially when you know the AKs are likely coming in round 3, which means you can pull out more M4s than you otherwise might. Valde's $50 short though. Unfortunate for him, but pretty solid start. That HE through the hut is pretty awesome because it's such a tight choke point that if they did try to rush, it would completely block them as well, which means they'll take maximum damage from it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't really see HEs purchase that commonly on CC pistols with that little combo with the CZ costing 500. That's actually a nice little buy. Remember, this is the new patch being used now, so we will see guns out next round. How are you guys feeling about the economy situation so far? Do you enjoy this?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I want to experiment with it when I play, but I'm just figuring out the best. I want to get some force buys in on the second round, on the CT side.
I like it quite a lot. I think that even if it's something that ends up being reverted at some point in the future or changes, I like that it adds some additional flair. You're not making the game really weird, adding something that's super gimmicky. It's something that's, you're still playing Counter-Strike, it's just slightly different, alters the meta slightly. I think that's really exciting. And Devaduvek is going to go down straight away. Where's the trade at? No trade at all. Ace is going to be taking full advantage through the smoke. That's not a good start for LDLC. They had a fast timing. I'm trying to understand what they're trying to get at with that one. So very fast timing in forward positions. Valde's going to hit the stepping. Oh, it's just too easy, isn't it? They don't have enough players to look at all the positions. This is a catastrophe.
Yeah, they really have got wrecked here. Not really much going on or to report, I'm afraid. It's just clean kills to North. They haven't given up a single frag. Have they even died in this game yet? Has anyone dropped? No, they haven't. 3 rounds deep, no one's died.
So the weird thing there is that it looked like, so you see the timing there. Obviously there's a crossfire effectively between AZ and his teammate in the yards. But the spacing was off as well if they're trying to drop and do a quick upper spill, or what are they trying to accomplish there?
Well, that smoke that bloomed just after the first player dropped down was presumably supposed to be there as he goes down to avoid getting shot in the back like that. So yes, the timing's looking a little bit off as they are yet to post a single kill. I don't think I've seen that in quite some time, but we'll see. They've got a gap in the smoke there. That's a guaranteed kill from PRB. There it is. It comes through in the end. Might go down here. There it is. First frag for LDLC. And we might be onto something here. This is not the force buy, but a bit of a partial investment.
And very quick point for those of you who haven't watched LDLC before. Alex is quite a fragger.
Can be.
Keep your eye on him.
Cadian secured the bomb. And it seems that North have secured around. It may just be the 1 kill, possibly 2. Devaduvek gets himself a nice 1 dig. I want to see, you know what, I'm interested in, when CTs lose a pistol, I'm interested in force buy because if you think about it, you get a better force buy because you got more money. Taking Inferno, you got full armor, CZs and smokes.
Yep.
And then you get a better full buy because your loss bonus is higher as well. So that's how I'm looking at it. So what, you get an extra $1,000 basically on your, or sorry, yeah, like an extra $1,000 on your full buy if you force buy.
Maps like Inferno, definitely, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
CZ with the smoke as well, that's almost as good as SMGs, you know, like they'll have them 2 AKs for those,
yeah.
MP5.
Before the recent nerf, well, the second last nerf of the CZ, it was better than a FAMAS at close range.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was 10% better, literally.
I like it too because it means that the team with the force buy still has worse equipment. They still have, or should have, less chance to win the round. It forces teams to just be better in all those situations where teams would often be lazy in their preparation. So I think it's a positive thing for sure so far. There we go. LDLC getting some great start, or getting a great start with the entry frags. Cadian with a miss. And surely, did he see Alex? I don't know that he did. That's a big problem. He's got the angle though, looking towards the, yeah, if there was a player to jump up or also to climb up. Cadian will be safe now.
Well, it looked like LDLC had the round in the bag of the first opening picks, but Cadian's staying alive here. Makes things a little bit more interesting, but he is overextending slightly. Down he goes. And that's Alex picking up the frag. Patience pays off, and it's a 4 versus 2. Time running out, though. That is a bit of an issue, but luckily no CT presence towards lower whatsoever.
Timing of that kill is perfect because Valde's flank was about to be very, very dangerous, but that kill, they just go straight down to the lower bomb site.
Now, how... Yeah, that answers my question. There is the money for North. So the money is still together if they save one weapon, let's say, because Cadian's slightly short. Seems it will be containment for North rather than run into choke points. They will try to take everything away from LDLC. And they may, if they're able to do that, they'd probably have a better buy in the next round, despite the M4s being versus the AKs. Somebody might be short on LDLC.
I see Valde's first name, I think Voldemort's.
It's because you're a geek.
Oh.
Is that Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch anime.
Terrorists win.
4-1 LDLC pulling it back, and we'll see surely the AWPs come out now for North again. There they are. Just one for Cadian. It will be Twanu as well, who got the opening pick before, as North will have pretty much everything they need. Outside was successful for LDLC in the previous round. Let's see if they can replicate that form. As Twanu looks to open things up again. He'll be making his way quickly towards the red box here. Challenging towards Garage. No one there to receive, but still a chance of the opening kill. Right behind that blue box. There was the shot. Takes down Cadian once again. There we go. 5 versus 4. And they don't have to commit right now. They've got so much time. They can just wait for the CT reaction, which is coming in the form of Alda towards Secret Steps.
Expensive round already for North. No more Manolo shoes for Cadian. Nice play from Armanek. Expecting the North forces to be stretched. And now North will know that the ramp has been compromised and that smoke is going to bring forward. But Valde picks a good timing again in the ramp position. And that gives some position to North.
Yes, it does. But the bomb's already going down towards lower. Devidu Vex got Decon under control. This is a very difficult retake, but that's a decent start from Gate.
Ooh, still very tough. At least the bomb is somewhat freshly planted here. They have varying points of attack. Nice peek from Twanu. That's the second kill for him. He's doing well so far on this defense. And now Logan, he's got a great position. See the CT's trying to find the frags there. Kievi can't quite reach. Oh, that's beautiful. He couldn't quite reach Armanek. And that's going to be that. So LDLC, just really good round. We're starting to see some of the reasons why we had such confidence with them. They have a game plan. And we can see Twanu doing well with the AWP, some good individual skill here around the defense. The communication as well, having everybody in position, have a very fast rotation at the perfect moment down to the lower bomb site. We saw some, a mistake very early on with just sort of messing up the timings on the outside push. But beyond that, it does look pretty good for LDLC, and I think this will indeed be quite competitive.
Well, they're on the T side, and they've got 2 rounds so far, maybe not 3. That's still quite a decent buy for North, considering, remember, it was 0-3, and no one had found a kill on LDLC, so that money was just swelling out of control for the CT forces. Now it's a little bit more compromised. You can see they've got no kits. One player with the MP5, not a huge deal on a map like Nuke. You'll see plenty of cheesy weapons come out, like the auto shotgun, for example. LDLC will finish off their purchases. A MAC-10 for Amanek, and there's no player with a helmet on the north side. That's a very powerful MAC-10 right now.
Smoke's outside, but there is cover for the CT to be sneaky. He'll be looked for, though, but this smoke will introduce variance for one of these sides. Kiabi slightly further away will have the advantage. Logan finds it hard to trade, and that is a colossal problem for LDLC with 1:30 on the clock. 3 versus 5. One player with a MAC-10, but the MAC-10's getting to work, and 20 might even the score here. He will for a time. 2 versus 2 now. Cadian holding angles in A. And who knows where this one will go. Twanu flanking around the back. Armanek on the low ground. The bomb needs to be collected, though. And now Armanek is alone with that MAC-10. Now, if he even comes across a better weapon, picking it up would concede his position, but he's done that already.
Ooh, I remember there's no helmet on these CT players, but it won't matter. Valda will find the frag. The all-important final one. It's 5-2, and money actually not amazing for LDLC. There's definitely a buy there, but this is nice play from Kiabi. They've been focusing outside of AWP. This time he plays a bit more heads-up Counter-Strike. Valda with a lovely shot towards outside, and finishes things off in true style as well. So an eco for LDLC.
Oh, wow.
Which is fine. It's very early days. Oh,
okay. There we go. I thought they should do this.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, it's fine. I guess they want to pull by. Maybe they're focusing more on the strategic side, but
it's a good decision.
Yeah.
Took a while.
It was impressive that they went down to a 3v5 and still got it, you know, they still killed 3 players. That was really cool to see.
What is it called in the Vatican when they decide a new pope and they're all in that, is it conclave or something?
I don't know.
They're with the black smoke or whatever?
Yeah.
What's that thing called when they're all in a hole together? Someone tweet me. That's what made me think of it. Just took a while to come to the decision. Right, we all agree. Let's spend some money.
Let's make some money. Well.
Yes.
Towards the ramp we go.
It's off to work we go. Let's see if they make it through though. There's a lot. Oh, that Twanu. But they don't know Valda's there. And that's an easy kill for him. The second one, also fairly easy. 3v3 though with the trades coming in, but you can see the fast response, the fast rotation from the CTs is problematic, but beautiful play coming out of Alex, sneaking in through the hot position with the Tech 9, finding himself a quick frag. He's going to have fast reactions for Kirby though, looking the wrong way. Oh my goodness, still gets the kill. Kirby throwing a grenade. Still a late reaction. I can't believe it. Alex has won the round for them.
Oh god. Was he caught the grenade like cleanly in his hand and just couldn't work out what to do?
I guess he thought Alex was on the site, maybe planting the bomb or something. Did Alex have the bomb?
No, it was going towards lower. So that's a bit of a nightmare for Kiabi. There's a kill on a plate, caught the nade out, fumbled it once he got the gun out, and it all falls apart. These are the smokes I was telling you about before in T-Spawn. They're one of the few teams that does all their smokes pretty much from that area. They've been doing that for a while. Let's see how effective they are. They sometimes have gaps in them, I'll say that much. I remember that in their gameplay. And looks like they're clean for now. And they'll make it towards outside.
Oh my
Will they?
Well, that's not advised.
This is the power of that round where they got them down to 3 players. Got that reset in.
You have to, sorry, Dan, you have to think about that situation. Like, you should be able to tell how far away the Deagle is. You're right next to the smoke. So it's very limited where you can be when you're showing those traces, whereas the Deagle can be a lot further away. And with a MAC-10 as well, notoriously bad at range, like, you're asking for trouble if you're spraying for a smoke like that from right next to it. 3 versus 5 for LDLC. The AKs are up, but so is the CZ of AZ. That will be collected, thank you very much. And again, the problems are compounded for LDLC. This should not be around for North, but they've got 5 players alive.
Yeah, LDLC are going to lose this round. They just have to get some damage. That's what the win is for them right now. Get the damage in there. There's Kevlar on 3 of these 4 players, so it's very unlikely that, as I said, that Davidovic gets 1 more. He's got 2 on the board so far, 2 versus 3, but with Twanu on 1 HP, he can't take any kind of fight. Acadian on the quick flank as well. Getting a bomb down would be pretty huge here, especially as they're likely to lose this round and it's going to be a reset. You've got to get it down! Oh, just barely in time. Just barely in time. What a disaster, though. That's a big problem.
It is a big problem, Dan. It was that 1 dig from Kiabi to open things up. I hope we get the look of that because it sounded pretty juicy. I wonder if it's just cleanly through the smoke with speculation that he finds the opening kill. But overall, they collect 3 AK-47s. They win the round. Sure, the bomb gets planted, but North were not expecting to win that round. And it looks like it's still going to be an eco regardless. Maybe a force buy, considering there's a reset potential on the CTs as well. But let's have a look. How disgusting was it? Yeah, pretty filthy.
So one thing about this round is that we see that, the fast outside smokes, they try to run down towards Secret. It's very, very telegraphed, and the pistols will absolutely just rotate and be able to rotate really fast. And you have all these close quarters and all these crossfire positions. I'm always surprised when teams don't try to just use smokes to take outside control and then try to work up, because if you get into heaven, then that's the round over for the CTs.
That's why we say you need to do smokes every single round even if you're using them or not, because you want to keep them guessing and force a rotation and take that vision away from them. Even if you're just sending one player down or even zero, it's going to force some sort of CT rotation towards lower. So it's always cool just to throw the smokes, wait to see what happens, and then maybe just get one player towards Secret just to see whether he'll get 3 players coming towards his position. But
remember Astana Dragons?
yes, I do.
I used to do that.
Yeah. It's a very viable strat, similar to Dust 2. You smoke Xbox every round, and this all Bakanti short. He has to react to that. He has to give information that people might be up towards short.
Bomb is on the outside, around the outside. Not crossing to Secret though, as the wall of smokes is not there. Just the one that the CTs will often lurk behind, as you can see. As one can see.
Has anyone played with the Tech-9 yet?
I haven't.
Since the recent update?
I have.
Any different?
You can't running headshot people. It's
Okay.
not a thing. It's absolutely not a thing, so I unequipped it immediately. Because like, if I can't do that, why do I want to use this over a CZ?
Sure.
Is it just more accurate with standing now, or?
It's encouraging you to stand still when you shoot it. I don't want to. That's what a deagle's for. I don't want to. The Tech-9 is to abuse running. If I can't do that, then it serves no purpose for me. I see Alex has it equipped. Good luck to him.
Antoine.
I'll take a CZ instead. Even though that's been nerfed. For me, it's the better of the 2 options. I think if you're going to have to stand still to shoot, cancel strafe, just use a deagle. So, the CZ for close range spam serves a purpose over Tech-9 for my purposes.
I mean, the CZ is still just as good close to medium range, right? So, and that's like, why would you use it any other range? Bomb down is not a bad result. They can win this round. Twanu, hello, Tech-9, let's go. No, denied, absolutely denied. I was getting hyped for the Tech-9, but after our discussions. But so the CZ change was just an accuracy thing, right?
I'm bringing up this.
It's so it means that they're trying to encourage, like they did with the 5-7, they're trying to encourage tapping more than spraying. So like to remove the chance of you getting 3 kills in one clip, for example, is more, well, you get a kill and then you have to reposition, tap again, sort of things. It's not as like hold mouse one while blind and get 3 kills.
So there's more recovery or recoil. Or?
Yeah, do you play the 5-7 before and after? So 5-7 you just got to spam as fast as you possibly could, right? Close range. Now it's more you tap slower a bit, but you get rewarded for distance and power.
The spray of the recoil pattern for the CZ is terrible now. So actually there are significant differences. It's really bad compared to how it used to be.
I had to experiment with
So
this.
it's a mixed bag. Like before you could get the 3 Predator bullets going, but that's not a thing now. It's like kind of like peeing in the wind now.
Wow, maybe I'll finally, after I've never changed from the CZ as when it came to the game, I've just been using it since. I never used the 5-7 at all. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time.
So Sloth Squadron says, Slow Squadron. Even with these changes, Tech-9 is still very unreliable for fast tapping and spamming. If I can't spam, I'm not going to use it. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can look up the spray. But if you look at Slow Squadron's Twitter, there's a link to his thing, and it's got the patterns, the comparisons. Yeah, it is pretty bad. But we'll talk about that in the next eco round because we're back on the bike.
Yeah. My final judgment will be when I watch Twist use the CZ. So Kirby goes to the outside push again, and he only gets 1 this time, so that's an improvement. It almost looked like he'd get 2. He's so aggressive, so consistently. Valde also doing some aggression on the yard as well. So LDLC able to somewhat defend here, but they've lost 2 players. Kading close with the AWP by the CT container. That's going to be a problem. And so he's calling that CT red. Oh, Kadian's going for it. He is going for it. Oh, almost 2. That's 3v2. They can't seem to battle outside at the moment.
He must have seen that player, surely. Radar, at least. The elbow came out. Ooh, AZ not expecting someone to be past that angle, so Logan takes him by surprise. Down to a 2-1-2. A key run for LDLC, but it's guesswork at the moment. They know Kadian's creeping somewhere. Ooh. The barrel of the gun concedes the position for Twanu, but Logan has the bomb. And with that, he's going to go very quickly indeed. Now, with that smoke down, where on earth does he defend from? quietly jumping up. He can hide from the ramp positions, but will he get there fast enough? Oh, he looks away. He doesn't even realize he's been exposed. I think the radar may have shown up. One of his teammates told him now. 50 HP. And that's a massive spray from Gage. Really nice.
Nice.
Great teamwork.
There you go. Communication on point. North pick up their 9th round. They're certainly the favourites going into this one. Cadian with a couple of kills towards outside. The LDLC can't really string massive amounts of rounds together here. They've lost 4 in a row, and they need, I would say, considering the way they've been playing so far, and it's their pick, I would say they need at least 5 here. But we'll see what they can do. Looks like another eco is due. 3 Tech 9s, 4 Tech 9s on the T side of Nuke here. With Amanek with the only CZ, they've got smokes available, so presumably smoking outside. Will they want to use them though? Remember, go for that execution we saw on the pistol, smoking towards Heaven, for example. That's going straight up rush upper. In they go, and they're getting absolutely wrecked. As they'll run through the flames, have to extinguish them themselves. Then, of course, you come through a grey screen, and really is the worst possible situation. I think Alex gets one here. There we go, then they will go down. So, 10-3. That kill doesn't really do a whole lot for them, but we're getting there now. Round 14, money available once again for the French side. Orps out for Twanu. And the only rounds they've won, really, is because of Twanu's outside picks. So, I think that's the right place to position themselves. Let's see what works out this time. This Cadian challenge outside. It looks like he's maybe going towards ramp. I love it when Orps do this, mixing things up. We go towards ramp at the start, then presumably move to secret as and when.
I almost feel like the PT50 would be a better choice than a Tech 9. Or the CZ. For them here. But again, just losing value outside LDLC. Which is a shame, considering that they should be able to challenge for this. And North are mixing things up a lot, as you said. Moving the AWP around, but always managing to be aggressive outside. Kirby's always been on high alerts on the outside position, looking to be proactive. But here he's fallen back into the main position after the frag that he got. 5 versus 4, fine to play defensively now, and AZ looking to defend secret as well. No trade fragger there to help Logan, no flashbang, nothing. Just going for the dry peaks.
That's kind of smart from AZ. You saw that smoking to the right hand side, suggesting he's fallen back and defending himself. And the T's will walk past it. But Kiabi's actually having a mad one right now, isn't he? Outside, patrolling it all single-handedly with the M4. And it's a 5 versus 1, chaps. Amanek's got no chance.
3 kills completely untouched is Kiabi. No one close enough to trade frag. They will not overextend. Time pressure for Amanek. As you can see, Kiabi's on the low ground. The rest will stay around A. They know he's outside for the time being. More likely to go in their direction. Walking into hut. Surely Suicide has got to pre-fire the hut position, but so many different angles someone could be in. And there we go. 11-3 for North. LDLC might pull in on a buy. Well, I mean, this last round, so I'm sure they will. I'm more inclined to go towards the CZ at this point. I mean, the P250 over the CZs.
Yeah.
Unless, like, I'm, getting pot flash in a close corner on Inferno or something.
I think, yeah, it's interesting how more, because I'm looking at them taking the Tech 9 and thinking, okay, well, it's because they think the CZ sucks, so they take the Tech 9. But I feel like for what they want the Tech 9 for, they should be buying a P250 sometimes. Yeah,
but I think at this point with the CZ, you need to learn the recoil pattern. As before, you could just spray and drag the mouse down a little bit, be good to go. But now you actually have to be more intelligible. I like being stupid with it.
To be honest, I never sprayed it really anyway. It's like 2-3 bullet bursts.
Ooh, timing.
Oh!
Cadian lost some health there. Fell off the ladder.
I missed the old ladder sounds. It was so.
I don't.
It was so horrible, but I miss it.
I missed it at
1.61.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Straight from Half-Life.
Ooh, crossfire of doom.
Now they go for the push, and Amanek manages to find himself a headshot. Cadian will thin him out. Kirby, ever dangerous here with the M4, with his signature sort of shaky aim. 12-3 for North, looking so strong. And a lot of it was because they were able to consistently deny outside and trade favorably outside, which is where LDLC wanted to try to take control of, but they never could quite do it very well.
Well, that's a solid half for North if they win the pistol. Surely it's GG. Surely they are in a bad spot.
Surely. Here they go. The upper site, Henry.
To the upper side we go, and it is aggressive from North here, managing to get the opening kill. It's Gage to get the first, Vada with the second, and we'll see the bomb planted. This is not looking too good for LDLC, and their campaign as Valda just completely decimates them.
Oh man, I would almost love to see a camera angle sort of behind and above the ladder. So as you see a camera like looking behind the CTs as they're trying to fight Valde, and he's like pop, pop. That's the third one, because he did one earlier. So PT50s on the pistol round. I always drop PT50s for people on the pistol round. So good. On the T-pistol, that is.
Yeah. Well, there's a fast one from North. They're looking to shut this one down, abuse the numbers and the superior weaponry towards the A bomb site. So far, so good. Barely even touched. Cadian looking to plant some cash. 3 HP, will he survive? For now. 2 pistoling players remain. Those North stickers are nice. They might suit that that Neon Rider AK. Almanac and Twanu remain going for the next rounds. Oh dear, nice.
Pumping his back full of MP5 bullets. Rat-a-tat-tats.
I've used the MP5 a little bit. I'm not used to it, so I won't make a verdict on it yet, but it just feels weird.
What kind of weird? Good weird or bad weird?
I guess because it's a silenced SMG, and obviously there's been some in older versions of the game, but you know, I played 8,000 hours of CS:GO, so it just feels weird. I'm used to having like a, you know, the longer silenced M4, so just yeah, just weird. Anyway, North maybe looking to get aggressive towards the A site, even with the smoke around main for the time being, but LDLC are fighting back. 4 versus 1.5. Cadian down to 3 HP. QRB has a lot to do. We've seen him do work on the CT side around main, but maybe this is too much to ask, especially without numbers to run distraction. Just the 1 kill for him, and now Cadian cameo appearance, but his role has been cut short.
Well, we are on something at least. The 3rd round buy from LDLC works out. 14-4 is going to take a lot of work from here, but of course, North will put this up and try and close things out early. It's their map pick, remember, LDLC. If there's ever a map you're going to make a huge comeback on, CT side of Nuke, this is where to do it. So maybe we're not done just yet.
Okay, still a believer in the CZ. Cadian will run very quickly down to T-Reds. Not a massive presence outside from CTs at the moment. Daviduvek for support by main, but is he actually going to peek on the edge of the smoke? That's brave. That's actually kind of cool. Is that a CT smoke? I'm wondering if it's like a set smoke or of some description. Alex will take down Gate, and you can see this advance on the outside positions is proving difficult for North, as it was for LDLC on their T side as well. Alex waiting for the next one. They just can't seem to break this outside position so far. Cadian will make things slightly easier. Out goes. Yeah, that's tough. It's all about these outside duels. It's just everyone's DMing. DM outside.
Cadian low once again. Getting peppered, and there's round number 5 for LDLC. $2,000 ahead. Maybe the comeback is real for LDLC. It's a long road though. And now they have the luxury of position. 2 AKs as well. Not bad. The money's really bad for North at present. No grenades in this round, no flashes. I wonder if it'll be a slow one just to thin out the grenades. Of course, it is one of the more expensive maps at the beginning of a round for a C2 side, fearing a rush into A or ramp, for example. Ooh, boy, hello. That gun will be hard to retrieve, however. Twanu trying to hold things down in that regard. Many targets starting to thin now. Wants to line up a grenade. Dev will need to hold angle in the meantime. Oh, worked out quite nicely, and that should be round. There it is. One player league shot from Cadian. So that's about 5 grand lost. Now, if North buy here, there'll be lifetime grenades. Maybe they had a fast round in mind for them.
Could be. No buy just yet. I'm surprised they didn't purchase fully into this one. Looking to close it out properly, perhaps. Going for the partial buy. They had about 4k per player, but they're going to go for helmets, pistols, and a few grenades. Smokes available, but presumably going to run through and extinguish this flames here. It's actually the opening kill the CZ.
How's that happened?
Logan gets clotheslined on the site.
Damn.
I like that he didn't buy in this round. The heads are screwed on. Time to plant the bomb. Plenty of grenades, or at least flashes for LDLC. Armanek not shy. Doesn't spot the player by the CT vent, however. But he'll clear him up finally. I think there's still a player below him behind the box. No. AZ on main. AZ dead.
It's quite cool from Armanek to see. He was very comfortable with the verticality when it came to the aiming there. Very smooth transition between high and low.
The vertical plane.
Yeah, I think in Counter-Strike, it's a lot of players get very uncomfortable looking straight down like this.
I only have issue when I'm trying to knife someone I'm standing on. It's very difficult. Oh, that's a nice spray. No window required. Well then, LDLC have reached half the score of their opponent. Slower one from North. No one dying early in this round. And off they go with the usual grenades. Is there oh, there's a molly already. Very nice. Absolutely ruined. Gap guaranteed, or your money back.
Well, there's a frag guaranteed. Alex with a 1 will open things up. And presumably, Duvet gets the second, but not quite. Lovely shot from AZ. In towards Upper they go, but Logan's on the bomb side floor. Flames all around him, and frags coming in for North here. It's a 1 versus 1. CT still staying on top, though. Alex manages to claim 3 heads, as he'll close things out there and keeping the dream alive for LDLC. It's going to take more of that every round, and they've managed to get 5 in a row now. So maximum loss bonus from North, and they've got another full buy here.
There was a team that used to throw decoys before the wall of smoke outside. And I wonder if it's time for that to come back, because a bunch of teams are having their smokes ruined, the ones they throw from a longer range. Maybe that's why you see some teams throw them from a shorter range, to avoid it from happening. Case in point, in this round from North, moving very quickly indeed, but they have a loss of player early. That's been a problem for them. And now AZ's gone as well. No response yet from North, charging towards the B bomb site.
Quick plant 3v5 on the lower side. Definitely doable, but very, very difficult. It's going to be so on point of the opening kills here. Gade will be potentially challenged first. He's got Cadian as well, supporting 3 players coming from the ramp positions, so this could work out. The timing is, in fact, quite good. Not a final kill for Gade, though, onto Twanu, the AWPer, and that might really pressure things here for Cadian. Oh my goodness, how's he done that? Gets himself both kills. I thought they'd be done for, but no.
Well, there we go, Dan. 1 more round. There will be money available for LDLC. Cadian locking down that lower bomb site. The spray, the positioning, the teamwork. It's all looking very good indeed, and it's quite desperate actually for LDLC. The shotguns are out, the UMPs, the AWP Twanu though will have to be strong as the smoke gets deployed outside. Cadian alone, that's what we discussed before. So the same smokes, but just one player going there, trying to force the rotation. Alex, without the firepower, will have to play up close by the T-box there.
Pop flash through the smoke. Armanek will be completely blind, as will the player moving in for the entry. The trade is there, however, and other numbers. Lots of info for LDLC, but how do they respond to this fast play into the B bomb site? I think it's a CT going to control. That's Alex. Oh, he eats that flashbang. Thought it was behind him. That's really unfortunate for him, and that might cost him the round and the match.
Duvek trying to do what he can, but it's not enough. It does indeed look like LDLC are not long for this world on Nuke, as Twanu comes into play there. Handsome looking AWP, but it's not good for much here, I don't think.
Don't think that will get him any points in this particular situation.
Oh,
that's a good shot though.
What about that?
Yeah, what about that? That wasn't bad. It will be 16-8. So one of those comebacks which could have been possible, I guess, with 5 runs on the road. They might have been believing on the CT side of Nuke, but ultimately North cashed it in, 12-3 in the first half. They just looked way too strong on their CT side. Kiabi especially, boys. He's got to be the MVP of the entire map because he was unbelievable on the CT side. That shaky aim that Dan referenced was certainly lighting up the scoreboard, especially with a heads-up outside play. KD moving around the map with the AWP allowed Kiabi to get up close and personal. Twanu was the catalyst of any LDLC rounds on the T sides, and here it is. It's what the moments we were talking about before were. Just getting involved and finding the eagle shot through smoke as well wasn't bad at all. I think LDLC got a little bit unlucky in some of the rounds. They lost the pistols multiple times, and still an enjoyable game. It was LDLC's pick, and it does not bode well for the second map, which is Mirage. But LDLC, did they impress you as much as they usually do, chaps? Looked a little bit flat today.
Yeah, it was a struggle on the T side, absolutely. They were choked by North pretty much the entire game, so I mean, credit to North for not really giving him the opportunity on LDLC's T side to get anything done on Nuke.
Yeah, it seemed like individually they weren't able to trade successfully enough outside on the T side, and they kept going for it, and I feel like that's where things really got out of hand. But this was a fun game, though. We had a very fast pace from North, which was very enjoyable to watch.
Oh yes, Dan. 27 kills from Kiabi though. That was excellent to watch. Plenty of fragging potential for him. 3,000 damage, ADR of 130. That's pretty lethal. You can see everyone else on North contributing with the frags. Logan not so much. Didn't see much on 6 and 19. Twanu at the very top. Like I said, the only rounds it felt like they picked up were off the back of his opening picks of the AWP. So he did a good job there, and hopefully he can keep the AWPing up going forward into the next map. We're going to go on to Mirage, and I guess that's where LDLC really need to prove themselves now, because Nuke was their pick, didn't really get much going at all, especially on their T side. And I guess Mirage is an easier map to negate because it's a very standard play style, right? Everyone's doing the same mid takes, everyone's doing the same executions, and hopefully we can see their individual stars step up. We didn't see much from Amanek or Duvek there. Can't really report anything they did of any worth. Hopefully they can step up, and we'll get a great game next. You excited, James? You look at?
I am. I think the Mirage will be a better game. Obviously, cool. Nuke is one where one side can often be stifled, so I think Mirage is a free-for-all, and it should be a lot more competitive. Just
before we go, Nuke CT side. Are you happy where Nuke is right now? Are you happy with being so CT-sided, like a classic CS version of Nuke, or would you like to see more balance?
For me, it's weird because we don't see Nuke so often. I think if we saw it more often, it'd probably be more tiresome. But because we don't see it that often, I don't mind it too much. I think it's about quantity.
I think it's fine to have CT-sided maps. I think it makes it more exciting when a successful strat gets deployed. You see some innovation. I think that makes it a little more fun to watch. Either way, we're going to take a break and be back with Mirage between North and LDLC. We'll see you in a minute.